Hello and welcome to the Nerds at Large Spoilercast for Life is Strange Before the Storm, Episode 2. I am one of your hosts, Darby Holland.
I am Jeff Mayo.
Jeff, we really slacked off on getting this episode.
We're talking about
out.
it just came out.
Oh yeah, you started. We're right here on January 13th, 2018 when this episode came out, right?
Yep. I hear the episode's actually coming out like tomorrow, Darby.
Oh wow.
The third episode.
Wow.
Yeah.
We're totally not like 3 months after the last one of these. We're sorry. We're very, very sorry. I could list off a bunch of excuses, but in that same time period, I beat both Mario and Zelda, so my excuses are kind of not.
Yeah, your excuse is awful.
Just mine. Okay, that being said, if you haven't watched one of these before... Wait, no. For these, we're just spoiling the whole thing, because we're in episode 2 of a thing. No.
Yeah.
Sorry. We're trying to hurry to go watch football.
Free,
I'm sorry.
We both liked it.
Yeah, spoiler free is good. Is good. Okay, so all spoilers for Life Strange Before the Storm, Episode 2, and Episode 1, and probably the original series. Just make sure you played
Who's playing Before the Storm before the first one?
Monsters, Jeff. Literal monsters. Sent from hell. So all spoilers, make sure you've seen all your things.
Devil Man.
Jeff. God, that's another spoiler cast. Jeff.
Yes.
Did you like episode 2 of Before the Storm?
Of course. I'm just going to say this. This is actually potentially in the running for biggest surprise when we do our Game of the Year things. We do that category. Because, I'm surprised how good this prequel is.
That's what I've seen a lot of people saying, I don't like to repeat Greg Miller and everyone else I've heard talking about. This game should not be this good. It's kind of for this. It's made by a different studio, different voice actor for Chloe, all these other things, telling a story that I didn't really think that I wanted to know, and everything. Everything is out against this game, or at least just this game should just be okay. But this is a Life is Strange game. This is basically the polish is there for, and the storytelling is there for the original Life is Strange. Yeah. I think. I do think in such a small way, because this is so good and it still feels like a Life is Strange game. I feel like things do fall flat a little more in this than maybe the last episode and the original game for me a little bit. Not much. There's just a few sections where I'm like, okay, that felt very video gamey. Or that felt, or that seemed like very wooden dialogue and stuff a few times, but it never lasted too long until it was right back in that getting me in the feels. And even when it was kind of wooden or weird or whatever, or just kind of strange dialogue, a lot of times it did add to Chloe's character, and it did add to the quirkiness of everything, and most of it worked for me. I don't know, I'm guessing you feel a similar way, and I'm interested in how are you liking Chloe as a character with this? Because I'm really liking her and liking how she differs from the original game, but you can kind of see the bricks being laid.
There,
you see this path being built, and one by one you're seeing kind of the reason why she is the way she is.
Yeah, I'm interested to see if we get more of that stuff in episode 3, or is it kind of it ends in a way where she's not completely that way, but they kind of show her doing stuff okay, we see how she gets that way.
Yeah, how
we can imagine the bridge.
How close up are we gonna get to Chloe in life in our game, in the original game, or is it gonna be you just are left to assume?
There's still a couple years unless there's a big time skip in the middle of this.
How many years?
I want to say 2.
Okay,
2 sound right?
Okay, yeah, it's probably Okay,
so.
Yes. And also Rachel. I love Rachel as a character, and I liked how she's so much of this, and I think me and you have repeated this a lot when we've talked about Life is Strange, that I kind of get when some people complain about the writing is just very cheesy or very this or whatever, or corny, and or just angsty for the sake of being angsty, but it's again, remember you when you were in high school, so many of these dumb cliche things that Chloe says were things that I said because you're a dumb high schooler. You don't know.
I promise, not, at least 90% of the people who, would listen to this or any potential person. What you said was probably cringier than anything in this.
Probably, or at least just equally as so. And that's why it really, like, even when I've read, like, young adult books and stuff back then, I feel like even they didn't capture the feeling of being a high schooler like this game does. And maybe it's something about playing it like that and having to make these decisions. And just the problems and the issues that Chloe thinks are issues are just so much of a high school mindset and everything. And I feel like it nails it very, very well. And it's just really, like, on paper, this game should not succeed. Yeah. Because of how delicate that has to be. You know, this game could be, like, that corny mess that some people think it is, for me, very easily. But they navigate that extremely well, I feel like. Also, just another one of the big points of Before the Storm. I don't know about you, but, like, one thing I was worried about going into this was the lack of time travel powers and the lack of, like, kind of that extra factor of it. I haven't missed it.
No, it's just kind of the thing of, I mean, this is not, obviously not a knocker. Doesn't really measure anything. The only thing it kind of takes away, other than, you know, in the story stuff, we can't look at every single little choice and see how those play out.
Yeah. But, like, at least when I'm playing it, I've never, like, stopped and thought about, like, oh, yeah, I would be able to do this time travel thing. It's all just been natural to me.
Oh, yeah, no, I agree.
Which is kind of cool that, like, it just shows that Life is Strange and their storytelling can stand on its own even without this gameplay gimmick or mechanic.
Now, and here's something that you could potentially say it adds Before the Storm, because since you can't go back and look at every choice, your choices add more. I mean, the more weight to each choice, you actually got to think about things more because you can't go back and do them.
Yeah. And it's it makes it more of a, like, direct Telltale style thing like that, where, like, you know, the choice, it means something immediately, whereas Life is Strange, it kind of did the thing where you could go back and look at both options and they both did mean something, you just didn't know what they were going to mean until later, and they both could mean something good and bad. Whereas this is just more of a direct, here's your choice, and it's but it still nails it. There were multiple times where I had to set the controller down. I was like, what am I going to do here? Yeah. So let's get into, I guess, some of the more specifics.
Yeah, we'll just kind of go run through the story and talk about things.
Yeah. So starts out, and apparently me and Jeff were we chose, like, almost all the same choices because we're, like, the same person. Very boring. I really wish we had done something different, but here we are. So you start out, like, in the principal's office, and there's that whole interaction where Rachel's trying to, like, cover up for you. Yeah. And I, like, started to go with her story until, did you do the same thing?
Yes.
I started to go with her story until, like,
they said, like, she can't do the play.
Yeah, then she can't do the play, and then I did the back talk.
Yes, that's exactly what I did.
We're so boring.
I was like, my thought process that was, okay, she's the one doing this and everything. She wants to.
I thought she was going to be mad at me if I went against her. Yeah. Until the stakes got too high for that. Yeah. I was like, okay, nah, girl.
Also, part of my thought process was, we know she's going to leave the school anyway, so...
I guess if there is one weakness to this being a prequel, it is those type of things where it's like, well...
We know how the Generals is going to end.
No, like, is it worth saving you? You know, be like, or Chloe being expelled. It's like, you know, we know. Yeah. we know this is coming. So, like, yeah, there's no way she's going to stay there anyway. But that was really cool. And I do, like, it gave me, like, the way they treat Chloe versus the way they treat Rachel, that reminds me a lot of in high school. And there was the troublemaker kids that, yes, they were troublemakers, but they were immediately assumed to be wrong. Whereas there was, like, the goody-goody people who I saw get away with terrible things in high school, or get away with cheating, get away with all this other stuff, but everyone just turns a blind eye or doesn't think about it because, like, oh, it's them. And people are labeled in a certain way. And that definitely brought me back to high school with that kind of mindset. And I think that both of them play those roles very well. And obviously, I think carrying it over from the last game, Joyce is just a great kid. You just you love her as a mom.
I think we did this in the last episode. And I assume we did this. You did it as well this episode. I think a lot of our choices we're thinking, what will make Joyce the most happy?
Yeah, in a lot of choices, I try to think more of, like, what would Chloe do in this? Yeah. But then when it comes to the mom, I'm like, I think Chloe would try to do things because she really does love her mom, but even if she wouldn't, I was like, I can't.
Yeah.
I just can't.
Yeah.
David, screw him.
Well, yeah.
But her, like, yeah, she's hardworking. You gotta go for her. So going and then you go into the parking lot. This was like one of the only things.
First you go with the security guy named Skip. Is that his name?
Oh yes.
Yeah. You do that. You do the graffiti thing in the bathroom.
In the bathroom walls and stuff. That was pretty great. That was pretty good.
Yeah.
I love that her tagging things is just taking a Sharpie to them.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, girl, you need to level up a little bit.
Yeah.
But
maybe last episode.
Maybe
get a paintbrush, then just do it a whole wall
and get some spray paint up in here. So that was really cool in the title sequence. Whatever comes out, that was really well done. Yeah. In the parking lot, this is the only thing that we did differently.
There was also one thing before we did that part. The whole thing with Elliot. You talked to him.
Yeah. What did you do?
We did the same thing. I took pictures of the things me and Darby did.
Right.
Partly remember what were the choices, and we both intended to go to the play with Elliot.
Okay, well, I didn't, I'm guessing, that was something I probably forgot about from, was he in the first episode doing something? Because I kind of forgot about his
existence. He's a generic guy who has a thing for Chloe, and then, did you go into his room later?
Yes. And I saw the really weird messages and stuff.
I was like, is he going to be a serial killer? That's what it's going to go with.
Maybe something weird. I hope they don't go, the same type of weird, psychotic dude route that they did in the first one. But I kind of didn't even know who he was. I did not remember him from the time before. And I don't know about you, but in this, I am pursuing the romantic angle between Rachel and Chloe.
Oh, duh.
So yeah, I mean they're meant for it. It's great. The chemistry's great.
And it's okay, fine, whatever. I'll go with you. And then he said after later, but Rachel will probably want to do something. And then later Rachel said, I'm going to go with Rachel.
Well, that's why, I guess I misunderstood.
The story probably makes you do that anyway.
Because when it said, you intended to go with Elliot, I didn't even realize I was intending to go with him. I thought I blew him off. But I guess you just blew him off for afterwards, and you were intending to go there. I'm not exactly sure, so I was a little confused.
Intended is kind of I guess, maybe. None of the options were straight up, I'll go with you. Okay. If I remember right.
Yeah, so I was trying to blow him off.
Yeah, I got this done 12 hours ago, so it's somewhat fresh in my mind.
Yeah, it's a little less fresh for me, so it's good.
But going parking lot, you go see David and Joyce. Talk to them that Joyce you want to make a new start, whatever, and everything. I think we both picked yes. We would try to start over.
Yeah, we both did say that mostly for her, and then David started being a military sergeant and telling you to
empty your pockets
and stuff.
Yeah, that's where we differed.
And my Chloe went over to the car, acted like she was going to do it, and then turned around and flipped him off, and it was great.
And then she did that anyway in the end, but the whole flipping
the same thing.
I did the whole pocket thing. It was I was thinking, I don't think I have anything in my pockets because of the whole thing, Josh or whatever the guy's name took my stash, so.
Wait, he took your... Oh, wait, yeah. Josh,
so
okay.
It's I think his name Josh, I don't know, I can't remember.
I thought you were talking about the security guard, and I was that didn't happen with me, but yeah, I remember.
Yeah, so it's I don't think I have anything on me, so whatever. And then Joyce oh, I'm sorry. Joyce felt bad about it, and kind of talked back to David is should trust her, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And then Chloe's screw you.
David. I was just kind of one thing in this game, I feel it does sometimes take the choices you made and takes them further than I think they're going to sometimes, or I'm oh, that's not what I wanted. So I was worried that if I went along with him, it would just go too far that way, and he would get too much of a superiority. I was no, screw you, David. I'm nah. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't think that Chloe would want to do that.
Maybe the last time we saw him in this episode.
Yeah. Yeah. It was weird.
Yeah. Okay. Next thing is you go to the junkyard. You got to suit up that truck.
Yeah.
The question. Was she driving that truck in the original Life is Strange?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Because
she was driving some truck, so it probably was.
Yeah.
And I guess the little teaser for episode 3 had her in the A truck at least.
Yeah.
But probably. I imagine that's where we're heading.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if it had the beach towel and all that stuff and we just didn't realize it.
Or something akin to that, yeah. Oh, wait, you did beach towel?
Yeah.
I did pirate flag.
Oh, that would be so much cooler. I didn't know.
No. I noticed when you looked around for a lot of stuff, like the light bulb and everything.
Yeah.
There were like at least two different ones for each one of those.
Ah, okay. I didn't know.
So what'd you do for the light?
It was like a red light.
I found a toy robot and took its blue bulb.
You have so many cooler things. I mean, like, it did look kind of cool. It was like this red lining or whatever. And then I had like a welcome mat or something that covered up the hole in the wall.
I had a mini golf mat thing.
All these things are better. This is lame.
My truck's better, son.
I had like a rainbow beach towel, a welcome mat, and then this red light, and then a little singing man.
Oh yeah, I had that too.
Yeah. Well, Jeff has superior truck, I guess. Good job, Jeff.
I'm gonna live in the end.
Yeah, it all comes down to that.
If I go for Life is Strange now,
some crazy guys there with a gun. He's like, "Oh, that's a sick pirate flag. I can't kill you."
Yeah, you're pretty cool. And then she ends up falling asleep in the truck, and we had that little dream with her dad and the fire.
Just creepy.
Yeah,
like her dad being pecked away by some bird and his burnt face. He was the Hound from Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
I don't know what all that means. It was really weird. They're doing weird stuff with dreams in this game so far.
Also, Arcadia Age has bad luck with nature and things. That whole fire and the tornado, the storm.
I'm still waiting for
an earthquake.
One thing, I guess, just like side tangent. I'm a little concerned that in episode 3 things are gonna kind of like they're gonna be like, oh, we have to end this in a climactic way, and things are gonna get weird and supernatural, and it's probably gonna get a little worse. Yeah. I mean, like, how are you feeling for like if they introduce that stuff? Are you here for it, or are you a little hoping that they don't? Because I'm kind of hoping that they don't.
I can hope they don't, but depending on how they do it, it's like whatever.
Yeah.
Because again, like last episode, it didn't come up in this episode at all, but that whole thing with the fire and
I saw it again, and definitely there's something going on there for sure.
It's I saw the previous like. That just
there's something something's up there. Something's definitely
okay.
What outfit did you pick?
I picked the.
I swear, if we pick the same one.
Which one did you pick? I'm forgetting the name.
I picked
the skull bird thing.
Okay, no, I picked the red shirt with the beanie, like red shirt, black sleeves, and the beanie.
There's a beanie. Huh.
The beanie shoot. Did you not find the beanie in the glove box?
Oh, no, I did not.
Yep, there's a beanie in the glove box of the truck that you can get.
Oh.
And that the only outfit that she wears it in was the one with the red shirt. And then she'll wear the beanie. With the other one, she didn't wear it.
Oh.
Which was weird. Yeah. It's just some old, like, raggedy beanie that she finds. But yeah. So I had a beanie.
Yeah, cool.
There you go. Now I have one. No, but, like,
well, at least
I guess there's not really much to talk about until like going into the school whenever.
I guess it kind of leads to the Frank's RV.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
So,
well, I think that's the next thing. So
yeah, go. That's an insane amount of beans, Jeff.
That is
just an
and a lot of steak.
Amount of beans. Yeah, and lots of steak.
Did you look at his internet history?
Yes. Yeah.
Like, why won't my dog eat steak?
Yeah, why won't my dog eat steak?
How old until dogs eat steak?
I liked having a little baby Pompidou.
Yeah.
Except for he's going to die in some timelines. Doesn't he get hit by the car in some timelines if you do something right?
I mean, yeah, if you do certain things, but you can rewind it. Because what monster would not rewind it?
Someone did. Someone out there, right. Jeff. He dies in some timeline.
Worst timeline.
I mean, we all die in some timeline.
We all die in every timeline at some point.
Anyway, do you have anything on Frank? I mean, like, were they setting up anything with him and Rachel? I'm very fuzzy on, like, where they... You know, there was, like, the history with him and Rachel and stuff, and, like, things going back in the old...
Well, spoiler for the final twist.
Of the original Life is Strange?
No, for the ending of this thing.
Yeah.
The lady being Rachel's mom.
Well, yeah, I already told everyone, like, remember not to...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to build up to that, but yeah. People always watch it. I mean, she walked out, so he knows her mom may not know that's Rachel's mom.
Yeah. I mean, Yeah. I don't know. I really need to, like, I need to go back and read a wiki or something for just, like, that part of Life is Strange. For just, like, the reveals with, like, Rachel and everything. Because I'm a little fuzzy on the timeline of how everything happened.
Okay, here's one thing. This is not indicated, but I'm not seeing spoilers. This is just me guessing. As far as, like, the Frank knowing Rachel. Mm-hmm. Okay, so... don't know if you remember, if you look at a text, Frank said something about, hey, I'm meeting you tomorrow about something. And then in the little preview thing, not the preview thing, but when you do the episode select screen for episode 3, it has Rachel and Chloe in the junkyard looking somewhat concerned or whatever, tense. So I imagine Frank slash Damon is going to confront Rachel and Chloe in the junkyard in episode 3.
Right. And in mine and your game, Damon's not going to be happy because we gave away his money. We gave his money back.
He doesn't know we did.
Frank might tell him.
True.
He seems to have some influence over Frank, so
yeah.
And Frank might not be inclined to keep our secret hidden if Damon comes to him like,
yeah,
where the hell's the money?
Yeah, so I guess we go into us going to Drew's room. Okay, yeah. Question. You know when you were going into the room and the whole thing was Skip?
Yeah.
Did you do the talkback thing? Or I guess you had to.
No, wait. Yes, yeah.
Did you complete it?
Yeah.
Oh,
did you failed it?
I failed it.
Ha!
So
I just accused him of staring at my boobs, and that about did it.
Oh, so what happened is I failed because you only had one miss at like 4 hits or something.
Oh wow! Then look at me.
Yeah. I did it wrong.
In those things, is there only one good option for all those, or is it like for the talkback things? Like I don't know how they work, but
yeah. It might depend on which one, but so he was like, man, I'm tired of you teenagers walking all over me, blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm done with this. And then Wells talks some of the friends like, hey, someone's doing illegal park. I don't know, something stupid like that. And he's like, screw you, man, or whatever. He had shoved for up your ass or something to that extent. I was like, dang. And he just walks away. He quit.
Oh, he like actually quit.
Yeah.
In mine, I just went for like I'm having period problems.
I started out
like how specific do you want me to get, and then eventually accused him of staring at my boobs and all these other things, and then eventually he got too uncomfortable and he's like, "Fine, just go do what you need to do." I can't. And he just walked away. Yeah. So he didn't quit in mine. He is very much still the security guard.
So that probably means he's not going to play a big role.
Probably not.
I
would imagine not. Yeah.
Okay, so we get to Drew's room or whatever.
Also, what is with Life is Strange with Max and Chloe, and they just like, I'm just gonna walk into these people's room. Well, I'm just gonna look through their computer.
Video games, Darby.
That's just a normal thing. Like,
yeah.
Like you go into Elliot's room or whatever, it's like, I'm just gonna,
Look at this creepy stuff.
Yeah, it's fine. So Elliot's weird. I imagine that's going to come into play at some point later.
Yeah. It's just you kind of, at least in our story, kind of blew him off.
Yeah. And it seems like a lot of things in this game that no matter what you choose, with a lot of games like this, it comes to similar points. And it probably will come to similar points with Elliot. Not much to say there. He's going to be a thing in episode 3 for sure.
Yeah, you go to Drew's room, you look around. It's like, okay, him and Mikey are really close. Cool. Yeah. Drew's actually, he may be a bully, but he's a good older brother. We're trying to work hard for his family. Life is
Strange does that a lot. Would like present a villain that's just so stereotypically a bad guy that you know that they're not actually that bad of a guy. And then you learn, they're not actually that bad of a guy. Yeah. It's a pretty typical thing.
Yeah, you get the money or whatever. Mikey comes in and Drew comes in. We're kind of running away from Damon.
That was pretty violent.
Yeah,
everything that happened. So did you not interfere?
I did not interfere because
I didn't either.
Drew said no, and I have a feeling it was a choice of if I go out there, Mikey's gonna get hurt.
I was mostly thinking about protecting Mikey, and
I imagine that's the case. And then, Drew would have gotten mad about that. Us letting it let Mikey get hurt. Yeah,
I also didn't exactly want my face. For Damon to know my face, too.
I also did feel I was like, aw, Drew's a good guy. He's trying to provide for his family, and now his football career is done.
Yeah. It sucked.
Yeah.
So apparently most other people, they like basically did what we did. They stayed with Mikey and did all that stuff or whatever, but then they left with the money.
Yeah.
I think it was like 60% of people or something left with the money. Me and you both gave the money back to Drew.
Like, you need this, son.
And they, multiple times after, they make you feel good about making that choice because Steph, I think is her name, messaged you saying, like, thank you so much for doing that. And, like, lots of, like, good for you for doing this, like, going up. I imagine there's going to be some reckoning for that, though, because this Damon dude is, there's going to be something with him. He's going to be mad because he didn't get his money. I imagine there's going to be some downside to doing that we just haven't seen yet.
We will see.
You'll see. But I like the whole plot, and I like Drew, and I like Mikey. Mikey's kind of adorable. There's an adorable little nerdy kid. No. I'm a little disappointed there was no D&D.
I'm about to ask, do we play D&D with him in the hospital next episode?
I'd sincerely hope so. Drew's just unconscious in the bed, and we're sitting there playing D&D. I bet we do.
Well, I mean, Drew might be interested since there was that whole stuff set up in the room where Mikey was sleeping over.
Yeah. I call it, yes. I call it that's happening.
Then, you go there, you go to the play.
Yeah. Victoria is just a crazy lady.
I think we ended up with the same thing there.
I didn't initiate her being drugged, but Rachel did. I tried to dance around. I confronted her about it. I told Rachel, we convinced Victoria that she got called somewhere else. We talked about it. And then we got back and just confronted her about it. And I tried to just be I didn't want to be, let's drug her. But then Rachel ends up drugging her anyway. Or getting her to, take herself anyway.
Well, if it's not drugs, it should be no problem, right? She's like, also just the funniest thing, Larry, when they're talking about the teacher dude's how could it be any worse, blah, blah, blah. The Victoria just collapses right there. It's touche. It's perfect.
That was all funny. It was definitely kind of cartoony.
I'm okay with it.
That teacher, I'm okay with it too. It's funny. He was a little out of place. It was he got a little too much for me at times, but it's fine.
That's one of those things where it's just a little thing that had a little humor. It doesn't technically affect the overall story.
Yeah, he's not a huge part, so it's he's just he's just your all stereotypical art teachers just thrown into one.
So how'd the play go, Darby?
I thought the play was actually kind of cool. I expected it to be very cringy, which it kind of was in some ways, but
it's a school play, of course.
It's a school play, so it's supposed to be cringy. It's a high school play. It's always going to be cringy.
I nailed it.
Oh, did you?
I nailed it.
Really?
I nailed it.
I did not. Did you actually memorize the lines and everything?
Yeah, a little bit of guessing. I figured okay, it's probably going to take the first parts of most of these things.
Yeah.
So I kind of tried to memorize that. I think there was one or something where it was at close to the end. I kind of guessed.
It was late at night, and I really wanted to finish it that night, so I didn't memorize it. And I just hoped that it wouldn't ask me to do too much, or I would be fine. I think I got a few of them. They were well, Chloe, you tried. It was better than nothing. Thanks for giving it your all. Well, Jeff's Chloe has a future in acting, I guess.
She's good at memorizing lines. I didn't say she could act. That was good enough, apparently.
Yeah,
and I liked when they went off script.
Yes, that was another touching moment. That was this game is very corny and stuff at times, but there's times where it's oh dang.
I was a little scared a little bit. It's okay, choices are coming up. I know this is off script because they said so. It's how much of what I say matter here?
And it felt it mattered a lot. And some of those, I was I don't know exactly what we're communicating here. When it was happiness isn't, what was it?
No.
It was all right, I know you're talking excitement about. Isn't happiness. Yeah. And I picked that one, I think. Something else. I think I picked that too. And I liked but it was another one of those where it's your little one sentence description does not really say what it is, because then she's I want you to still love me or be excited by me when I'm not exciting, when I even in mundane times or whatever, which I like that. I just didn't know that's what we were going with, but thought the writing was very, very.
Time out real quick, Darby.
What?
Does that have a little stopping point thing?
All right. Hey, welcome back, Jeff.
So play went good?
Play went well.
Yep.
Well.
I was a star. Then afterwards, Rachel and Chloe hung out, going on the streets and everything.
I think that was my favorite part.
Mm-hmm.
Of the whole thing was there on the street when Rachel was let's just freaking go.
Yeah, I think we also picked the same thing about where we go.
God, Jeff.
Road trip, Darby.
Yeah, I did road trip.
That's just a very Chloe and Rachel answer.
Oh, it did. I was about to do Los Angeles, but I was no, Chloe. Yeah, Chloe would just be let's just go.
LA and New York, those are lame.
Well, and that's too much of a plan.
Yeah.
This thing's not supposed to be planned. You're just let's just go.
Yeah.
Just get out of here. And they already live too close to Los Angeles. That's just right there. So,
yeah.
They're in because they're in Oregon, I think, right?
Yeah.
Somewhere in the Pacific Northwest. But I thought the writing there was also like very good though. Like, and it was, again, it was kind of that like you're high schoolers and you're dumb, but like I definitely was way too emotional and way too like, everyone hates me. I want to get out of this town in high school, and that definitely like had a lot of elements of it. But it was like it's almost like fulfilling your crazy high school fantasies. But it's like, what if you actually did it?
Yeah.
you talked about wanting to leave, and what if you actually just did? Which obviously they don't in the end, or at least haven't yet. But it was,
or at least not for long.
But they were about to. They were going to. If things had gone right, they would have. So it was like, yeah, it's cool. I like it. It's like this crazy fantasy that you could never actually live in your life, but in this game, it's kind of cool to see.
Well, and we both did the whole thing like when Chloe or when Rachel was like, "How do I prove it?" Blah blah blah, that sort of thing. We both picked Kiss.
Right.
That was
because I see them as a romantic thing. And it's not just like, I did not choose the romantic angle for Chloe and Max, but I just felt like it worked with Chloe and Rachel.
Yeah. So. Yeah, that's the episode that was setting up.
Yeah.
Though I had to go around when I said the whole Kiss, like, well, you weren't sure about it last time, blah, blah. I was like, luckily they have a language to say, well, I didn't know what I was feeling at the time or whatever. I just realized it. It's like, thank you, game.
Thanks for letting me fix this.
Yes.
All right, Jeff, we need to get going to watch football. So, Jeff,
we got
this rate the house.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not like, all right, I was talking about things not working. I'm mostly talking about this. That
whole, as stiff as a board.
That whole house thing was most of the section of Rachel's house was very tedious and kind of dumb and like very video gamey to me. Like setting the table, we walk back and do this, walk back and do this. I'm like, what's the point in me doing this? It's like that's when like the walking simulator type games or whatever can get like where I understand people's complaints about them is in those type of sections. It just because it felt like the pace was so great, and then that was just kind of like it killed the pace for me for a second. I was like, and also I was sitting there, I was like, I want to go to bed because I thought I was at the end of it, and I'm like, God, this is taking forever. So I didn't like that.
Yeah. But then we got to the scene.
That was really well done. It was like, at first, you think you're gonna like bring Rachel out of it, but it's like, nope, we're going there.
I think we both did the thing. We tried like, okay, we're not gonna bring it up. We're gonna do what Rachel wanted. We're not going to bring this up to make sure the plan goes well. And then
and then
Rachel's like, no, this all sucks. I can't take it anymore. So I don't blame her, but
So you usually you probably understand stuff more than me with this. Like, so what is actually going on? Do you think here? Like when because his father knew that was her mother, and that he was with her or whatever, and her mom didn't seem like that was a surprise either. It seemed like just like her, I guess not actual mom, but mom that raised her. So what is the actual situation going on here?
I don't. You might not have seen this, but something that was interesting. I did not see it coming for one reason. Did you look around the house everywhere? Because I found a case file.
Yeah, for that,
and it had the mom on it.
And
like connected to Frank and Damon and all that stuff.
I saw Damon and Frank, but I didn't see the mom.
She was in the bottom corner, like in a smaller picture. I was like, okay, he's doing. This wouldn't make sense because he's a DA, but he's trying to maybe do something related to that.
He knows that she's, I guess, involved with this.
Yeah, he
might be covering something up for her or something, but. Like, he obviously, I guess, had a relationship with this woman.
Well, yeah.
Obviously. But, I mean, like, so there's a reason there. But, like, all right, so, again, it's been 3 months since we played episode 1. Were they kissing and stuff in the park?
Yes. So, I think they did that. They showed them the flashback, yes.
Yeah, they weren't just together. They were actually, So, like, I guess I need to, like, see what the reaction... Maybe the mom who raised her wasn't actually chill about that. Maybe I just thought that...
Yeah.
Maybe she's actually surprised too, but so it might be a thing where it doesn't like. I mean, that still is cheating. Just because it's with your ex-wife or whatever, doesn't mean that it's not cheating.
I may not even be a wife
or ex,
in general,
lover, whatever, girlfriend,
one night stand,
anything. Anything like that. So like there might still be a repercussion or something, but I thought, at least the way that I took it, I thought that it was something that they both knew about. So I was like, what's going on here?
I mean, she obviously knew that Rachel is not her child.
And I was probably the only one that thought this, but when he's like, Rachel, and he like got all serious or whatever. I was like, swear to God, if he says, Rachel, that's my mistress. Your mom knows about it. Where it's some really weird kinky stuff. I was like, what? I was just waiting for it to take like the Rick and Morty episode with his parents or something. I was waiting for it to say something like that, and he'd be like, wait, what? For some reason, I didn't.
You jumped the shark now.
I know. I don't know why that's where my mind immediately went. It wasn't with her being her mother, but. I'm very interested to see.
Yeah, I didn't see it coming. I
didn't see it coming. Yeah, I maybe should have seen it coming, but I didn't. I don't know.
Hindsight and all that. There'll probably be some people saying like, "It's obvious. You should have seen it coming."
Probably. In hindsight, everyone's it. But overall, I thought it was really good. It was another very strong episode with this.
We don't have to wait for the next one, Darby.
We know. We can go straight into it. This is probably going to be decently high on my top 10 list and stuff. Or at least just in it, which is impressive enough anyway. But
well, it doesn't necessarily reflect how we view this game overall on episode effective story, but we still got the bonus episode after we get done with the next one, Darby.
Yeah. Gotta find out where to download that, because I didn't see it in the main menu and stuff. But
it's not out yet, I don't think.
Oh, it's not?
I don't think so.
Yeah, they did say they were getting Ashley Birch to voice it, so that would make sense if it was. Yeah. They're probably working on that now, yeah.
Hey, take your time, man. I mean, at least it doesn't affect this story at all, so we don't have to wait to the conclusion to this. So, just a nice little bonus thing.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, there's not a whole lot to say. I mean, it's the middle episode. It was the episode just continuing this. It was just the story just kept up. I don't think it didn't decline any. It just kept going. And
like what you said, it was paced very well to the fact, like, I don't know why I thought it was less than it was, but then when I got done, I was like, I guess it was like 3.5 hours or something like that. It's like, I don't know why I expected it to be shorter, like at least an hour.
Yeah. I mean, these are meaty episodes.
Yeah.
Well, and the thing
I kind of forgot how long the first one was.
Well, one thing, like, it's paced so well that, like, when I first heard this, I was like, okay, it's only 3 episodes or whatever, so it's a shorter thing, but maybe this is weird to say, it doesn't feel like it's a shorter thing, like, than the other Life is Strange, because I feel like it's just paced so well that it makes sense. It's like, okay, yeah, the next episode's the last episode. Whereas it almost makes me forget, I was like, oh yeah, the original Life is Strange was 5 episodes. Because this feels like a full game. Like, this feels like a full thing.
I mean, if they're all the same length, the full thing's going to be like 10 hours.
Yeah.
That's a good length for me.
Yeah, I definitely don't feel like this is something that was hampered by, like, how short it was. I was like, they're making their hands of it. For $20, this is solid. Like, completely great.
Yeah. So, obviously, we like it.
Loving it. I'm glad this series is a thing.
Yep. And we know 2 is coming.
Yeah. So excited. I'm also just very glad that, I mean, this is Deck 9, but Don't Nod started this or whatever, and after Remember Me that had potential but failed, I'm glad to see them actually being able to do
It's weird when I kind of forget until I see the intro thing, this is a Square Enix game.
Mm-hmm. It's a pretty big surprise to get for Square Enix, too, so, yeah. So, yeah, let us know what you thought about it, and stay tuned for our episode 3 Spoilercast, and also probably just, full reactions for the entire, in review for the entire series. So, yeah. I'm excited to talk more about it. I'm excited to play episode 3.
Yep, and I'm sure we'll have, when that episode comes out, I'm sure we'll talk about that too.
Yep. All right, well, thank you for joining me, Jeffrey.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for joining us, and have a nice day, everyone. Just go have a nice one.
Yeah, go Falcons.
Go Falcons.
Yeah, hopefully they have it lost by the time you hear this.
Bye.
Bye.